Hey everybody, Crypto Mentor 99. How you doing? Hey, it's still March the 1st. Didn't make it Friday. Coming to you from mobile headquarters. Doing some errands, doing some videos. So this video I'm not exactly proud to announce, but I want to get, some stories for my grandchildren and my hopefully great-grandchildren can learn from my mistakes. So I got caught shoplifting. Translated, I was stealing. In 5th grade, I got caught shoplifting. Crypto Mentor 99, I thought you were a good guy. I thought I was a good guy too. But I became friends with this guy whose name was Jerry. And Jerry was a bad egg. But I didn't know Jerry was a bad egg until I found out he was a bad egg. So after school one day, I'm in like 5th grade, beginning of the school year. It was still warm outside. Jerry and I are walking home, and Jerry's like, "Are you hungry?" I said, "Yeah, a little bit." He's like, "You got any money?" "No." It's like, "Well, I'm hungry too." He's like, "Why don't we go to he named the grocery store, and let's steal some, it was like a Hostess cherry pie. I didn't even know if they sell them anymore." And I'm like, "Well, that's not right." He's like, "Yeah, but we're hungry and we don't have any money." I'm like, "Yeah, you're right. You're right, Jerry. I'm hungry. I don't have any money. That cherry Hostess pie is mine." So we go in the store. We must have stood out like sore thumbs. And before we walked in, I'm like, "Hey, Jerry, have you ever done this before?" He's like, "Yeah, a lot. This store is easy to steal from." I'm like, "Well, that makes me feel better." Said no one ever. Again, I'm in 5th grade. So I'm like, "Well, where should we put the cherry Hostess pie?" He's like, "Tuck in your shirt and just drop it down there. No one will ever notice." Said no one ever. So I go in the aisle. My heart was beating out of my chest because I knew it was wrong. But guess what? Crypto Mentor 99 took the cherry pie, put it down his shirt, dropped down. So I walk out of the store looking like my shirt is tucked in and I've got a cherry Hostess pie on my belt line that's probably, popping through my, shirt. So as soon as I go outside the store, Jerry was in front of me. He got out first. As soon as I stepped outside, somebody grabs the back of my neck. And I'm like, that's not a good sign. I think I'm caught. And he drags me back in the store, not brutally, but kind of, and so I'm like walking back. I did the Michael Jackson moonwalk before Michael Jackson did it. So I'm doing the moonwalk back in the store, and the manager says, "What are you doing?" I'm like, and I did what all guilty people do. "What do you mean, what am I doing?" "Yeah, what are you doing? We think you're stealing." "Who, me?" Anyhow, busted. So we go upstairs into the manager's office, and guess what he made? This is old school. I know this video is getting a little long, going on 4 minutes. So he doesn't call the cops, even worse. He calls my mother, which is worse than the cops. Nowadays, they call the cops. Back then, they called your mom or your dad. So my mom gets on the phone. Well, he gets on the phone with my mom. My dad must have been at work because then my dad calls the manager and my dad wants to talk to me. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is worse than being locked up in prison, admitting to your parents you stole the 19-cent Hostess cherry fruit pie. So my dad kind of just said, "Well, were you hungry?" I'm like, "Yeah, Dad, I was hungry. He's like, you probably didn't have any money, did you? And I said, no. He's like, well, you know, if you would have came, he was real gentle and kind instead of mad like he, might have been. So, well, when you would have gotten home, Mom would have made you something if you were that hungry. I was just so ashamed, so embarrassed. So my mom had to come, and he basically handed me off to my mom. I'll never forget the look on my mom's face. Whoa. So anyhow, it was a quiet ride back to to our house. And boy, my dad came home from work, and they knew that I did the wrong thing. Like, what a learning lesson. Like, suffering and knowing that you embarrassed your mom and dad and yourself and your family name. But anyhow, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. I've mended ways since 5th grade. Yeah, stealing's not a good idea. Shoplifting isn't a good idea. But man, that cherry fruit pie, I've had hundreds over the years, and they were good. Anyhow, Crypto Mentor 99, taking my referral link below for my Wave Watch, $100 off coupon. And that's it. Love y'all. Bye-bye.